Better flirting. Flirting simply means you're interested in someone. I'm at the restaurant. She's looking at me. I look up. She's looking again. I look down. I look back up. She's looking again. They're paying attention to me. They're trying to get my attention. I'm trying to get her attention. That's flirting. Expressing interest, wanting attention, giving attention. In a nutshell, that's flirting. Can we do it better? And that's the topic today. I had someone ask for my opinion on the pickup artists. Think this through. They are experts at picking people up. For a reason. That's their job. That's what they do almost full time. They hone their craft. They experiment. They hold themselves accountable. They don't blame the other person if they don't pick somebody up. What did I do wrong? If something doesn't work, they adjust. The system is darn near scientific. The ethics, I have some problems with that. I'm picking somebody up to just go have sex. Yeah, I got some problems with that ethically, morally. I don't think that's a great idea. So use the methods, use your own morals. That's what I'm talking about when I say let's change the culture of dating. The hookup culture really damages people. As a couples counselor, I get to work with the aftermath of that. Yes, it does damage people. People do not like to be used. And if someone is damaged, the next time they go out on a date, they're going to damage those people, who are then going to damage people. So let's change the culture of dating. Having said that, their methods do work. So approach anxiety is part of the pickup artist's realm. I see somebody that I'm attracted to. Within 2 seconds, if I approach, my anxiety is under control. I already have my pickup line, but if I'm contemplating my approach for 30 seconds or more, I'm going to be really nervous. Yep, you need an opening line. That really does help. Attraction switches. That's another good thing to know. I have a different video just on that. And there's plenty of attraction switches videos and articles on the internet. Until you know what the attraction switches are, basically the 5 things that you need to do in order to get a woman to pay attention to you and to be attracted. Until you have those, you're likely going to spend too long contemplating going over to her. Your game might be a little bit less effective, so highly recommend listening to and watching the attraction switches. It's similar to any other skill. Until you've practiced, you're not going to be great at it. So practice to the point of mastery, if not excellence. If you are interested, demonstrate that you're interested. I want to get to know you. Do so with your words, your posture, your nonverbals, the time that you spend with them. Play, have fun, tell jokes. It's not a job interview. Banter with them, be interested in who they are as a person. People can spot pretty quickly if you're trying to use them. They usually reject those advances unless they're just looking for a good time, a one-night stand. We spend time with people that we like and are interested in getting to know. If they're avoiding you, pay attention. If they won't look at you, pay attention. Check your assumptions, of course, but pay more attention to their behavior, their actions, not their words. See what the alignment is. Did you know that we also flirt with family and friends in non-romantic ways? One of my clients calls it friend flirting. I like that way of saying it. You're not flirting to have sex. It's not a romantic thing. You're simply showing that you care and like them. I care about you. I like you. You're interesting. Let's get to know each other. This person might be my equal, somebody I can be friends with. This colleague might play by the same rules and become a friend. Bantering, witty repartee, light teasing, these are all enjoyable ways to flirt. Telling them about yourself, your family, job, hobbies, interests, passions, what excites you, what you're enthusiastic about. Get to know them, let them get to know you. That's actually what intimacy is. I want you to get to know me, and I want to get to know you. Different people flirt differently. Sometimes it's an immediate turnoff. Do we play well in the sandbox? It's similar to a play date as a kid. There are people who you immediately like, and some you immediately dislike. Those can be for a whole host of different reasons. What we've found is that people make decisions that are split-second decisions. We jump to conclusions before we have enough data to actually make an effective decision. So if you immediately dislike somebody, there might be a reason for it, but it might be that they remind you of Aunt Susie or Aunt Mary. It could be something absolutely not related to that person, but to you. So play with that. Look for the goodness in them, while at the same time not overlooking the deal breakers or red flags. Let's talk about beautiful people and rich people for just a minute. Beautiful people tend to get a halo effect. That's what the research says. We create stories in our heads about beautiful people. We rate them as more successful in a variety of things with absolutely zero evidence for it. None whatsoever. Then when you really get to know them, you know that pedestal you just put them on? Ooh, what a fall. And then we're angry at them. We blame them for misrepresenting themselves. What if we took accountability and blamed ourselves for unearned adoration, unearned commitment, unearned stories that we created in our own heads? Not a good basis for flirting just on looks. Happens all the time. Not a good basis. I feel better when I'm around beautiful people. I smile more. I feel better about myself. What? Yep, that's what the research says. And beautiful people tend to get away with more. People don't hold them accountable. Same with wealthy people. In our heads, we sometimes hold them in higher regard, which is unearned. We make up stories not based on reality, not merit-based. Those are the stories we make up in our head. Think about what that does to dating and flirting. It totally warps it. You're more valuable because you have more money. How did you get the money? Are you an arms dealer, drug dealer, some other thing? Did you cheat? Did you lie? Did you steal? How did you get the money? Beauty, you were born with a symmetrical face. Hey, good on ya. You won the genetic lottery. What did you actually do to earn my commitment, to earn the stories that I made up in my head? If we see a beautiful person as more valuable, we look at the trade-offs and we tolerate stuff that we should not tolerate. Same with money. I heard somebody say it's just as easy to fall in love with someone who's rich. Yeah. So somebody who's rich is out of the gate more desirable. Why? Think that through. Why? Think about the trade-offs of somebody who's that beautiful or that rich. What are the trade-offs? Look at the downside, not just the halo effect. We look the other way when they do something we don't like, or that we see as slimy or lacking integrity. Anybody else who did those exact same things, we'd rule out. We'd weed them out. We'd screen them out. We would hold them accountable or we'd walk away. Think about that with flirting. Who do you let off the hook when they do something that they shouldn't do? My initial attraction to her was physical. As I got to know her, I realized she wasn't well behaved. She did things that go against my moral code, but she was so good looking. Nope, don't overlook it. The flirting stage, that's expressing interest. I was interested, so I expressed interest. Up until I heard what she said about people. Oh my goodness, how she treated people. How she was unfaithful repeatedly in every relationship she was in. For most of us, those are signs to stop flirting. Find the exit. Confront it. See if the behavior has a chance to change. If they're telling you who they are, believe them. If this person sees themselves as better than, you can predict what will happen when they're in a relationship with you. Same thing with money. I'm more important. I have money. I have cars. I have a big house. I go on these great vacations. I am important. I'm better than you. You see the flags. Go ahead and hold yourself accountable. When you see the flags, what do? Beauty and wealth are poor predictors of a healthy relationship, and yet we feel good with them. Hey, the money means that I'm secure. There's things that I can do with money that I couldn't do without money. Maybe I'll just sell myself and throw myself under the bus so I can get their money. Or, oh my gosh, they're so beautiful, so handsome, so whatever. So that makes me a better person. It makes people look at me differently if there's somebody who's that attractive with me. If they're used to getting away with things because of beauty and wealth, I know that that's going to happen to me. Knowing when to walk away is healthy. How people use language. Boy, does that tell you a lot about them. Verbal precision is important to some people, not to others. Using a definition that's commonly accepted, important to some, not others. Treating people with empathy, compassion, being nice and kind. What does that signal? Yep, it's seen as weakness if you're a predator. Predators see people with empathy and compassion as weak. Being nice and kind is seen as weakness by predators. Others see those as valuable to a long-term relationship. Not everybody can see the same thing. If you grew up in a family that sees those people as a mark or as prey or as weak, watch who you yourself are attracted to. If your family saw those indicators of a healthy relationship as weak, watch who you're going to be attracted to. So people reveal themselves through flirting. They want you to get to know them, or at least the parts of them that they want you to get to know. If they are revealing a predatory nature and you ignore it, what do you think's going to happen? Yep, we can predict that they're going to prey on you. The person who loves danger but doesn't protect you. Or the person who has an exciting life and they're trustworthy. They take risks, but they're not calculated risks. They're impulsive. Or if they expose you to danger without looking out for you. Yeah, adventure's fun and exciting. Taking calculated risks can get the adrenaline going without risking bodily harm, without risking arrest. If they tell you all about the bad stuff they do, and you expect it's going to be different with you, oh my goodness, I can change them. They won't do that with me. Yeah, they will. You know what I like about this person? They don't care what others think about you. I don't care what people think about me. Well, there's a threshold. Where's the threshold? It does cross the line into sociopath realm at some point. Pay attention. Do they not care what other people think? Do they not care what the laws are? Do they break laws left and right? If they're breaking laws, breaking ethics, breaking morals, what do you think might happen in your relationship? Yeah, they're exciting. It's fun to date them. There's a lot of drama. If you like drama, that's the person to go for. Listen to the stories they tell. When they're flirting, they're going to tell you the stories. Listen to them. Do their words and actions match? If they're not in alignment, you're being played. Charm is part of the con game. Very charming. Gosh, when somebody's that charming, it's hard not to fall for them. Charm is part of the con game. A player, somebody that's that smooth, that charming, ooh, pay attention to that. Make sure you're looking for the other side of that one, because they're going to distract you with their charm so you don't pay attention to the deeper issues. How about the person who tells you about their ex? How they talk about their ex is how they're going to talk about you. Oh, she's crazy. Oh, he's narcissistic. If those words are coming out of your mouth, you are very stereotypical. Not every guy is a narcissist. Just because a person broke up with you does not make them narcissistic. Selfish, perhaps, but narcissistic is a very specific clinical term. I would suggest that never comes out of your mouth again, like ever. That word just doesn't mean what you think it means, and you're signaling that you're willing to throw somebody under the bus. Don't do it. Same thing with crazy. All of your exes are crazy. That's not really likely. Statistically, you're probably wrong, and the fact that you're seeing it as crazy tells me more about you than it does about your ex. Or how about the person who's still friends with their ex? Why? Why are they friends? Well, they still share the kids. Maybe the dog's in custody with both of them. Are they looking out for the benefit of the kids? Are they behaving so that they can see their kids more? Are you jealous because they're doing something wrong? Are you jealous because of your unhealed jealousy from your own past? That's going to have an impact on your ability to flirt and to screen out people who don't fit you. Sometimes we screen out a little bit too early and a little bit too easily because we're trying to protect ourselves, and sometimes we have a hair trigger. Are you looking for a fun time, a fun night, or are you looking for a healthy long-term relationship? Very different things. During the flirting process, are you able to both pay attention to your words and actions, as well as listen to them for the inconsistencies? I'm paying attention to what I'm saying, what I'm doing, while also wondering if they walk the walk or just talk the talk. Yep, they said all the right words, but boy, does it not match reality. So that's your job during flirting, paying attention to self and the other. Oh yeah, it's challenging. That's what makes it hard. It takes time to see if behavior matches words. Rushing it, forcing it, going too fast, poor strategy for flirting. If you want a long-term healthy relationship, don't rush it, don't force it. Go organic. You give unearned commitment. They haven't deserved it, and you're already saying, I want to be with them. Why? What's the urgency? What's the desperation? Let it unfold. Let it blossom organically. Enjoy the flirting. Keep flirting the rest of your life. I pay close attention to language, especially kindness. Some people throw elbows when flirting. I don't understand that. And if they can't be kind during conflict, oh my goodness, does that tell you it's going to be a bad relationship? I've also heard this. She thinks that somebody who is good to her is showing weakness. You compliment too much, you hold the doors for me, you're being too good for me. Nope, that's their issue, not yours. Continue being good to other human beings. All right, look, let's straighten this up real quick. The nice guy. The nice guy who's a wimp is not attractive. We're not talking about that right now, though. Hey guys, nice is different than kind. Yes, they want a decent human being. They don't want a doormat. They want a guy who makes them feel safe, can protect them financially, emotionally, maybe even physically. They don't want somebody who can't take care of himself, who can't stand on their own 2 feet. Nice in this context is a compliant man who's soft because he cannot protect himself. Someone who cannot stand up to her and hold her accountable when she misbehaves. Everyone's going to misbehave in a relationship at some time or another. Do you hold them accountable? You lose their respect if you don't hold somebody accountable. So in this context, nice implies wimpy. Think about your guy friends. The wimpy guy. Do you fully respect him? Do you fully respect the wimpy guy? Yeah, neither do women. So be kind, decent human being, not wimpy. Yep, hold doors, do nice things. Insist on being her equal. Insist that she behaves, and when she doesn't behave, hold her accountable. Letting her get away with things signals that she's your superior, not your partner. The use of language matters. Watch how adolescent boys talk to one another. They rip on one another, mock each other. The teasing is rude, sarcastic, and borderline mean, sometimes not even borderline mean. When you're flirting, see what works. Experiment with it. You can flirt with touching your lips, your ear, your hair, biting your lower lip, touching your hair, giggling, snorting at their jokes, complimenting them, telling them what you like about them, or just more subtle with the eye contact. Pay attention to where your feet are pointed. Flirting is simply paying attention. Do you pay attention to the other person or just yourself? Are you interested in them, or are you trying to impress them so they're interested in you? Are you trying to be interesting or interested? Are you truly fascinated by the person in front of you? Are they the only person in the world right now? This present moment you're spending with them is the only moment that exists. Oh my God, is that attractive? Are you listening so that you fully understand them? Very attractive. Are you interrupting them? Unattractive. Are you telling them what they're saying, or are you reading into it and telling them what they mean and assuming negative intent? Very unattractive. Are you checking in, asking what they mean, and following up on details to get to know them better? Very attractive. Are you jumping to conclusions without checking it out? Unattractive. Are you talking at them or with them? Are you dominating the conversation? Are you filling the area with words to keep them at a safe distance? Are you speaking fast, staccato, and loud? Are you doing give and take? Are you responding to their body language, not just words? Are you listening for emotions and feelings, or trying to remember the details? Are you being playful or taking yourself too seriously? Are you complaining and being a Debbie Downer, or do they feel good around you? Are you talking about things that elicit good feelings, or do they feel drained by your intensity and negativity? Are you talking about joy and bliss and happiness and play and fun and doing humor, or is it all negative feelings? Do they feel good about themselves when they're with you? Are they being defensive around you because you're subtly attacking them and judging them and accusing them? All of these things go into flirting and doing a better job. Flirting can be subtle, can be done with nonverbals first. Flirting could be telling dad jokes that fall flat. It can go wrong with trying to brag or trying too hard. Flirting can be complying with her every wish, Makes you look weak and compliant, not her equal, always available to her, always doing whatever she wants to do, not putting yourself out there. Flirting can also go wrong with being overly sexual, especially early on. I sometimes get, as a couples counselor, somebody coming into a session and say, "How did I miss the warning signs?" I reply, "I don't think you missed them. You just haven't labeled them as warning signs yet. Those things you told me about that feel familiar. Familiar is not the same as healthy. Did you notice that he's doing the same sexual humor as your dad? Your dad sexually harassed people. He had multiple affairs. He was not terribly respectful to women, so it feels familiar. He told you who he was almost immediately, but it didn't go into the danger zone for you. You didn't see it as a flag." Or another client, "Man, he is verbally abusive. How did I not see it? How did I not see it?" Well, he was sarcastic, he was aggressive, belligerent, hostile. You did see it. You told yourself that you like sarcastic humor because that's what your family did. You were used to it. You liked when his anger was directed at others with the sarcasm. When he used his anger to control you, though, you didn't like it. You didn't like it when he was verbally beating you down. Look, he didn't hide his words. He actually flaunted his words. It's kind of like the grooming behavior. I'm going to do what I do and see who doesn't react poorly to it. He knew he could control any woman who did not object to his poor behavior. So he's grooming, seeing who will put up with the bad behavior, and then he's training you to accept bad behavior. You tacitly agreed not to confront his bad behavior, and that's how he knew you were the one. When you confront bad behavior, when you say no, when you hold people accountable, they have to either look at their behavior and change it, or leave you, or you leave. If you so desperately want to be with that someone, you overlook the signs, the bad behavior, but it's there. Keep your eyes open. I've also seen that with affairs. Person's having an affair, it's particularly bad, it hasn't ended, but the person stays with them because they love them so much. Personally, I don't think the word love is the correct word in that situation. I would say it's more attachment or trauma bonding. If somebody's actively having an affair and they won't cut it off and you're asking them to, especially if you're married, I think that's a trauma bond. I think that's an attachment issue. And the person is telling you what they're going to do. So let's go back to sarcasm. Not all sarcasm will lead to verbal abuse. Enough will that when you see it, pay attention to it. If they're berating somebody, know that berating will be part of your future. It will be directed at you at some point, right? Pretty easy to predict that, right? Pay attention to your family. Who you grew up with, what feels familiar. If they did or said things that were harmful or damaging, you're going to expect that and likely overlook that same behavior from a partner. "Oh, it's not that bad. My family used to do it." The pathology will feel so familiar that you'll likely be blind to it. You might not even see it as a warning sign because it appears normal to you. During the flirting process, pay attention to how they treat people. Look, we can flirt better, and we can learn how to interpret their flirting as well. Familiar is not always healthy. So sarcasm is a high-risk strategy. Is that something you want to work on? Or don't you care? "I shouldn't have to adjust how I talk." Oh my goodness. Think about that mindset. What created that statement in their head? One-size-fits-all thinking? That's not flirting. That's not responsive to the audience. The speaker who does not adjust to the audience is a poor communicator by definition. That's why it lands flat. Don't blame the audience for a poor speech, please. When flirting, always ask yourself, "Hey, does this serve me? Did that work?" Experiment with different ways. Try the high success ones first, not high risk. Most people grow out of rudeness and sarcasm and winging it, realize it's not a great strategy, but not everybody grows up. That much is obvious. I remember one of my clients quoting a video he watched, and he said, "I don't know whether I was just sexually harassed or finally accepted by the guys I work with." Imagine that on a date. Yes, I do hear those stories more often than you might think. The person then talked about how some people get stunted and pretend, well, it's just a cultural thing or it's not downright dysfunctional. Yeah. So when someone does something pathological, they often don't know that what they're doing is wrong. They might get defensive, they might rationalize or justify. They can't hear it, they can't see it for what it is. It's hard to be wrong. They might even perceive being told it's wrong as an attack. Think it through. I just told you that what you said hurt. And you feel attacked? You feel attacked when I say, ouch, that hurt. That's a massive blind spot. It's also a lot more common than you might realize. So imagine being told you did something wrong or, hey, that hurt. You're going to feel judgy to that person. If I'm an offensive speaker, it's going to feel judgy when you tell me that it hurt. It's not judgy, it's called discernment. It's a very different word. You get to decide or discern when you don't like something. Nope, that's not judgy. That's the wrong definition. Judgy is something completely different. Let's be more verbally precise. Eliminate guesswork. It does take work to be an excellent communicator. Lazy people do not do the necessary work. When someone tells you that they don't like being mocked or say ouch when you talk or they call you angry, you might want to reevaluate what you're doing. Sarcasm is huge. It's technically flirting. It's just not a good strategy. So with adolescent boys, you often see a lot of flirting with sarcasm. The hidden anger within sarcasm is off-putting to many people. Imagine hearing that your sarcasm is off-putting. Someone doesn't like what you just said. All right, so put yourself in their shoes. How do you feel after hearing that sarcasm is passive-aggressive? Well, you might defend, you might justify, rationalize, make excuses. You might tell them the context instead of doing the right thing, which would be listening to understand and learning from them. Look at what you just did. You just made it all about you after they told you that it hurt. They feel hurt and you defend yourself and your hurt, not acknowledging your behavior or the impact on them, not acknowledging that they felt hurt by what you did. The message they got from that is, hey, your feelings don't matter. Is that a message that you want to give anybody, let alone somebody you'd like to date? I don't care if I hurt you. My needs are more important than yours. Yeah, not a successful strategy when flirting. So sarcasm has indirect anger with the flavor of passive-aggressive. Again, very common in flirting. Don't get me wrong, it can be funny when it's not directed at you. Most people see through the anger, though, and there's hurt underneath the sarcasm. So when you're doing sarcasm, we can see that you're hurting. You're just wounded, that's all. So if you're someone who uses sarcasm, look for the hurt in your life and heal it. Ask yourself why you're being passive-aggressive. Heal it. Heal the wound so that you don't hurt other people. This is about changing the culture of dating. Imagine flirting with someone, using sarcasm, and they say, ouch, that hurt. The dysfunctional, you're too sensitive response. That's similar to saying that the bruise on your skin is because your skin's too sensitive. It's not that I punched you. It's that your skin's sensitive. It's the same with sarcasm. It feels the same to the person who said, ouch. So imagine the date's going well, they let down their wall, they trust you, and you punch them with your words, with your sarcasm. You want them to trust you, right? You want them to know that they can rely on you and feel safe, right? You meant it in a good, fun way, and they took it as rude behavior, so obviously it's their problem. No, it's yours. Sarcasm is not a good way to flirt. You meant it like you do with your friends or family, and they interpret it as passive-aggressive. Hey, did that work for you? Is it worth the risk? Do you want a deal breaker? Lots of people mention angry sarcasm. It's a huge blind spot which makes some people highly defensive. Does sarcasm serve you? Does it bring you the people that you want? So take your inventory. How do you flirt? Especially pay attention to sarcasm. Are the signals you're sending clear or not? Let them know what you want. My intention is to date her. I compliment her. I see if she's my equal. I let her know what I want. I don't cross the line as creepy or stupid dick pics. Hey guys, don't send those. Please stop. How well do you flirt? Can you improve? How can you improve? What's your plan for improving your flirting? So hugging. Hugging is part of flirting. Doesn't have to be, but it can be. People hug differently. Not all hugs are equally satisfying. We send signals with our nonverbal communication. Are you sending the signals you think you're sending during a hug? Oh my God, I love his hugs. I feel safe, embraced, not fondled, not grinding, not frauderism. Think about the A-frame. Think about the brotherly love, pet, 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 the grandma hug, the I like you hug, the I've missed you hug. Can you identify the signals that you send with them? You're still in the friend zone until you've kissed or held hands, was one person's remarks. The kiss is important as a signal and a milestone. So there's another video just on kissing, but here's the overview. Think about a kiss within the context of good flirting. Top-tier kissing focuses on responsiveness. It's not performative. It's not trying to impress. It's connecting, paying attention to the connection. There are a million opinions about kissing. Some people hate kissing, and then they get a great kiss and realize it was a kiss worth having. They like kissing the right people or person. Others have sensory issues that make kissing not enjoyable, or they have anxiety, claustrophobia, you're in too close, you're in my space. Check your assumptions, don't jump to conclusions. So ask yourself, are you performing a kiss, connecting with the kiss, sending a message? Think about the person who makes eye contact. I make eye contact for about 5 seconds, and I lean halfway, expecting her to either lean in or not get a kiss. I'm not stealing a kiss, I'm not taking anything from her. It's either mutual or it's not happening. Once you've achieved kissing, ask yourself, are you kissing each other or are you impressing them with your kiss? Little kisses around the lips, the first kiss versus once you really know each other, the forehead kiss, the cheeks kiss, lips, all over kisses. Be creative. Think about your breath and breath mints, gum. Lean in, feel the breath, but tease and pull away. Biting the lower lip, nibbling their neck, touching the face while you kiss, up against the wall, asking permission, and the tongue. Oh my goodness, the tongue. Hey, did you watch that YouTube on how to kiss better? Check out my blog and the articles on boyscounseling.com if you want more relationship or conflict information. And if you like this video, please know it's super helpful to me if you hit the thumbs up and subscribe. So please subscribe, hit the thumbs up. Please leave a comment and let me know what else you would like to hear about so we can tailor it to your needs.